Hi guys, Juan from Dieselheat here. Today we're doing a hot water system and air heater on an Iveco Daily. It's going to be a DH15 with a air heating head, which makes the kit is the DH15Duo. And I'm going to show you a little bit how we start the project, and then throughout the install I'll show you the more interesting bits. So if you've got an Iveco Daily, or if you're building your own motorhome, you'll be able to get some ideas from this. Let me show you a bit. I'm going to turn around the camera. So this is the van. We've got it already on the hoist. We're going to jump in. So we had a chat with the customer, and the cabinetry is going to go on this side. This is going to be the toilet and the shower cubicle. So the system is going to be sitting there. We'll do the fine measurements to go through the floor, but it looks like there's plenty of room for it. And the fan head, we are tossing with different ideas, but at this point I think we'll bolt this in and we'll have the fan head pointing in this direction. I reckon we'll do something a little bit more custom made. We're going to have the heat exchanger pointing with the elbows to descend, so we've got a nice straightforward run for the coolant pipes. So at this stage, not a lot more to show, just we're going to send all the wiring through the columns in the sides of the van. The batteries are going to go on that end. So we'll keep going, and then we'll update you as we go. Okay, so we've got the holes that we needed. And now I want to show you and explain a little bit what we're doing, because if you install the DH15 in the past, you will be thinking to yourself, wait, hang on, this is not what I'm used to do. And the reason for that is that we've got this new bracket. This is going to be a cowl that basically what it's going to do is to seal the exhaust outside. So if for any reason there's any smoke, that smoke will not go through the floor inside the van. And how this works is, once that we've got the hole, we've got the mounting plate. The furnace will come with this flat spot already fitted to it, and basically we'll put the exhaust pipe with the clamp in and drop through the floor, and through the floor we'll be able to slide this this cowl with this gasket. The gasket, we're going to do a slightly bigger hole, and the gasket will be sliding through with everything else, and so this will be sitting this way. So the cowl is actually sitting against the flat surface, and this little plate will go underneath. We'll grab the pipe from underneath. Once that is tight, that'll be secured, and with 4 screws you'll be able to press it against the underneath of the floor, so that way your exhaust will be fully outside. And that's why we're doing this different type of mounting plate. Now we're going to drop all this there. We'll pre-fit the exhaust pipe, as we said before, fuel line, everything that is going to be awkward to access once that we've got it down. So then we can have a clear run at piping and wiring everything. All right, we turn on the lights so you don't need to guess what I'm trying to show you. We've got the exhaust hole done. This is a 65mm hole in this case. Not sure if you can see on the new mounting plate that it's going to be in there for you to know. It's also going to have center points, so you can center the hole and make it easy on you. Now we need to locate 2 holes. One it's going to be for the fuel line and the fuel pump wiring, and the other one will be for the overflow hose. So I got an idea of where the pins go on the underneath the underneath the van, sorry, and we'll put this sort of roughly in. That's where it would go. And my idea would be to send the overflow hose to this point. So I'm going to mark there, and I'm going to bring the fuel line comes from, you can see there, that end. We're going to send it all the way through here and send it parallel to this one through this hole, so we're all within, you know, that same space between beams. And the other thing that we're doing differently is normally the hose tails will come straight. In these ones we brought the hose tails directly with an elbow, so we are going to come with the ducting, sorry, with the piping through the side of the heater and just come around, and we also swapped the heat exchanger inside the fan head, that normally the elbows would be coming this way. So then we've got all the ducting, all the piping again coming and contained here, and the ducting will be coming through this spot all the way to the end of the cabinetry, which is, I imagine, going to be somewhere around here. Okay, little update. The hot water system is in. Before I secured it to the floor, I installed the exhaust pipe, I installed the fuel line and the wiring, just because, as I said before, it is quite awkward to work on that space once that the system is in, so it's better to do it before and then just drop the system in. I also routed the fuel line on this spot and the wiring loom for the fuel line. The overflow hose is going on this other one, and I also installed the fan heater. The idea is that the ducting will go all along on this same curve, and it will finish up on a surface that will be around here, and the vent will be able to either blow the hot air to the front or swivel and go to the back. Also, I've done the plumbing and the wiring. So these systems have one wiring loom that is for the thermostat. We've got the thermostat here, so I'll show you the thermostat. So that is the thermostat, and this is the wiring loom from the thermostat, and then it's got another wiring loom that is for this furnace here, and they both interact together. Let's cut it down. Wait. I've also done the wiring, which there is two wiring looms on this system. There is one that is for the thermostatic controller. That wiring loom is this one, and there's another wiring loom which is for the air dispatcher furnace, which is this one. The wiring loom for the air dispatcher furnace has two connection points into the furnace. It's got a branch that goes through the floor, in this case, to the little fuel pump. And then it's quite simple to make one wiring loom interact with the other one. We're using the fuse holders for from a dispatcher for both. So this one is going to be for our thermostatic controller. This one will be if at any point we can connect, or we want to connect, an Easy Start Pro controller on this terminal. That's the fuse for that, and the last one is for the furnace itself. And I wanted to show you how easy it is to connect one to the other. So basically, on the thermostat controller, everything is labeled. One says air dispatcher loom, and it's got on the air dispatcher side the same plug, so it's plug and play. It's got another plug for power. It's got another plug, and it says 12 volt 5 amp fused. Another plug for the coolant valve, which is this one. This coolant valve will be automatically operated by this thermostat. So whenever there is air heating required, the thermostat will be opening the valve to allow the coolant to circulate through the fan head. When there's not, the thermostat will keep this valve shut. And the idea behind that is to not create any residual heat when we're in a warm weather and we don't really need to do air heating. What else? We've got also the ducted fan connection, which is this one. I already cable tied everything, so it's a little bit harder to see, but everything has its own plug and play connector, so it's quite easy to match and make one wiring loom to the other. In the case that you're using a caloric fan head, there's also another connection point here for it, which is plug and play as well. Okay, little update. We've got the underfloor of the vehicle ready. I wanted to show you, this is the exhaust system of the hot water system, and this is the mounting plate. The mounting plate, let's see if we can get a better, there you go, has that screw there. That screw is holding this cylinder that I'll show you. That's the sealing inside, and with these 4 screws then it's holding it against the floor, putting pressure and doing a proper seal. We will then put some silicone through the gaps just to make sure that it's properly closed. And we've got the fuel line and the overflow hose coming through the floor. This will get some silicone as well. Going through with the fuel line, we've got the fuel pump here, which we'll tidy up later as well and protect it. And that is going all the way to the inside of the tank. We made a separate video on how to put the fuel straw in the tank, which we'll show you later. Let's see if we can see through here. You can see there, that is the, not sure if you can see properly. There you go. That is the fuel straw there. Okay, so the system is installed and now we're commissioning it. I just wanted to show you the final product and chat a little bit about the installation itself and then how the system performs against others. So let me just turn around the camera. So the system is now going. It's doing just hot water at the moment, and we'll go a little bit through the components. So the system, which is the DH15Duo, has the hot water system itself, which is this, and it's connected through these 2 ports to a fan head. The fan head will have its own electric valve, and it's all operated from the controller. So it's a very simple controller. We've got to turn on and off the hot water system itself. We've got then to turn on and off the fan head. The fan head has 2 modes. Whenever we select any air heating, we will have the electric valve, as you could just hear, just turning itself on to allow the coolant to go through the fan head. And then we've got, so that is minimum speed for the fan, medium and maximum. And if not, we can go with the automatic control, which is the one with that circle surrounding the fan. And now we can choose the temperature that we want to set, and the system will automatically define the fan speed to get to that temperature. So in terms of operation, the nice thing about a system like that is that, is that the system naturally prioritizes hot water because it's going first to the heat exchanger that produces the hot water. So then the system will turn itself on demand. You can turn it on from the controller, and after 10 minutes, if it was fully cold, the system will have first hot water, and the hot water will be on demand. But also the other nice thing is that the air heating is quite independent from the hot water, in the sense that you can not have to do hot water at all. Like, for example, in this case, we don't even have cabinetry, let alone a hot water circuit, so there is no hot water happening, and I'm having a heating independent. And if you want to have hot water but you don't want to dissipate any heat because you're in a warm weather, then you will find that you can do just hot water, and because of this valve, there's not going to be any heat circulating through these pipes and going to this fan head and producing residual heat. So the system ticks a few boxes in terms of the performance that it has for the hot water, the ease of use, everything centralized, with a rather nice controller, plus the fact that the system is very quiet. It's got a very powerful fan heater to heat up a full-size van. This is Iveco Daily. It's a quite long van, and it will do this, absolutely no worries. This is rated at 1.8 kilowatts, so that would be a really good setup for either a full-size caravan, a big motorhome. It can pretty much go in any of these vehicles and do a great job. So yeah, if you like this type of setups, you can go to our website, and we've got heaps of information on the technical aspects of the installation, on the performance of the system. In terms of the installation is very simple. We need to drop this wherever we can go through the floor with the exhaust. So we need a hole for the exhaust. We send the systems pre-assembled, so all the connections between the furnace and the hot water unit itself are already installed and pre-tested, leak tested. So then we need to fit the service, the fan head, the piping from one to the other, which is pretty simple. It will all depend on how far things are apart. Ducting, as you can see, also very simple. And then the wiring to connect the controller to the battery and the hot water system, which everything is labeled for you to be able to do all the right decisions. And on top of that, we have a very good set of instructions. So this is something that I always encourage people that they can do themselves. As you can see, there's a lot of information there with pictures and examples and whatnot, for you to be able to make the right decisions. We're always available in the phone, so if you do have any questions, you can give us a buzz. But I think it's a great DIY project that can really upgrade the level of comfort in a van by having a really nice heater and hot water system.